Three of these rare puppies are known to have ever lived, and Golden gives birth to one. Rio's pregnancy this time had been a lengthy one. She had been rather inactive throughout the birth of her first litter, bringing the 5 puppies to full term, and she had been a wonderful mother to them. Welcome to USA Stories channel. Do not forget to subscribe and activate the bell button to receive all new updates. Now let's go to the story. This time, however, the doctor informed her that she was carrying a lot more puppies and that she needed to exercise caution to avoid doing too much. Her due date was drawing near, and her new owner should absolutely help her throughout the birth. Rio is the pride and joy of Mrs. Louise Sutherland in Scotland. She is utterly enamored with her gorgeous golden retriever and adores him whenever she gets the opportunity. Louise felt compelled to have Rio's pups in order to spread the joy of owning a golden retriever to as many people as possible. Rio was in her second litter, and the end of her time was rapidly approaching. Ensuring that breeding animals are in optimal health and condition, and that no expenditure is spared for any unexpected veterinary bills, is an important aspect of effective dog husbandry. Louise knew roughly how many puppies she was expecting thanks to a sonar scan she had early in the pregnancy, but she could hardly believe it when labor finally arrived. 9 little heads could be seen on the specialized apparatus, and there were 9 tiny heartbeats on the machine. A good-sized litter for a golden retriever, which may produce anywhere from 4 pups to 12, was what Louise found so astounding. She was unaware of the negative impact this would have on her cherished dog's health. 63 days after conception, the day finally arrived. Rio had been searching for a gentle and serene setting to raise her sweet golden children. In order to help Rio with each puppy when it was born, Louise had given her a spacious kennel full of plush blankets that could fit the 2 of them. Louise stood at Rio's side as she went into labor, carrying a mucus sucker, water bottles, gloves, a towel, paper tissues, and 9 little collars in various colors, so she could keep track of who was delivered when. She was aware that would be crucial in the days ahead. She began to document each birth as the delivery progressed. Rio has 1 daughter and 7 boys in all. Louise is delighted to announce that they're all doing fantastic and growing like mushrooms. After weighing and recording the birth weight of each puppy, she placed a colorful collar around the necks of the chubby pups and returned them to Rio for feeding and cleaning. Puppies are deaf and blind from birth. They eat, sleep, and defecate during the first few weeks, and that's about it. For food, warmth, and love, they are totally dependent on their mother, just as Rio was totally dependent on Louise to take care of her at this difficult period of her life. Like before, Rio raised all 9 of her babies admirably, including the really odd one in the center. Rio took her time with the first youngster, and when it appeared to be stuck, Louise started to worry. She claimed that he just wasn't arriving at all. My daughter Claire and I were able to remove the first puppy that was stuck and take him out safely. All hands were on deck, but then the pups began showing up. Then they witnessed something they couldn't have imagined. At the halfway point of giving delivery, Rio appeared to take a little nap, but after she had calmed down for about 15 minutes, another puppy showed in, and then another, as if he was eager to meet everyone. He arrived quite soon after the 4th. Louise recalls that he was eager to make an appearance. Not because he was unattractive or deformed, but rather because Louise, 43, and Claire, 25, gasped at his sight. He looked just like the rest and didn't even stand out in terms of height or weight, but he was the strangest-looking canine they had ever seen, a verdant green akin to moss. But why would a dog with such an unusual hue have been born? As the name suggests, Mom and Dad were both purebred golden retrievers who happened to be golden in color. The colors are all centered around the breed's name, albeit there are some variances. Dark golden, cream, light golden, and golden are the approved hues. What then became of this specific dog, Forest, fittingly enough? A bile pigment known as biliverdin is thought to be the source of the hue. This is the substance that appears as bruises begin to change color. It is closely related to the color green. Essentially, it represents the hue of your body mending itself. The amniotic fluid around Forest appeared to contain a significant amount of green tetrapyryl bile pigment, which ultimately resulted in tinting his fur. He was a typical puppy from a typical litter otherwise. The concentration of biliverdin in Forest's birth sac was the only thing that differed. This pigment was more concentrated in the placenta around each particular youngster, and the amniotic fluid ensured that the puppy was well coated. Forest was a pale hue, so the green just covered it up. This also explains why Forest's head color is almost normal. If you look closely, you can tell that the green stain either didn't take well on Forest's ears, paws, or snout, or that they are deeper in color. This is because the hair in such places is somewhat shorter. You'd be wrong to assume that it was a Photoshop job. It is a very unusual ailment, with only 3 known examples prior to this 4th one, even though other puppies have been born with it. Dog owners all around the world have been showcasing their green babies with imaginative names thanks to the internet. In Lancashire, a chocolate Labrador named February of last year gave birth to a green puppy. Fiona was her given name. A few years ago in Spain, a Great Dane produced a litter of 2, one with white and black spots and one with green and black spots. 2 spaniels were also born green in the same litter. Due of its rarity, not many veterinarians have had a chance to investigate the issue. Upon further investigation, we discovered that it's quite atypical and related to the placenta. Louise acknowledges, "I've been told the color has faded quite a bit already and will soon be gone." What a scare I had. I believed there was a problem, so I called the veterinarian. Not even the veterinarian knew a lot about it. The 3-year-old household pet gave birth to a litter of 9 puppies, including the unexpected newcomer. Although this is her 2nd litter, the first produced 5 pups, 3 males and 2 girls, after 5 hours of labor. But Louise argues, knowing what a regular dog's life is like, this will be our final one. Whatever the sweetness of the pups, she knew she couldn't try another litter. After a long 32-hour labor, Rio gave birth to a litter of 9 puppies, the 5th of which stood out from the others. How was Rio doing, really, after all this time? Okay, new mother. After some rest and cleaning, Rio is doing well, and Louise was pleased to report, "We were all shattered, but all that mattered was that Rio was okay." It seemed that everyone was caught up by the extended evenings. It's great that the family as a whole took care of their dog during the whole thing. Although every puppy has been claimed, Louise has chosen to retain a little male for herself. "Which one do you anticipate happening?" Louise says. "We're keeping one of the boys but haven't decided yet. But even she doesn't know. We're holding off till their true selves emerge." We all know, I believe, that Forest has a very good chance of becoming the one she retains. Please remember to subscribe to our channel, give us a thumbs up, and turn on the notification bell so you won't miss any of our videos. If you enjoyed the tale, the next video that plays on your screen will probably move you too.